Welcome to grade 8 sharing of ratios or sharing by ratios. All right, let's look at the first one. Let's say you were told to share the number 10 according to the ratio of 2:3. All right, so what will the number 2 on the ratios become now that you are sharing 10? Okay, so what you need to know is that the ratio numbers that you've been given are parts. So you have 3 parts, right? And you also have 2 parts. All right, so it's 3 parts and 2 parts. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get the total of the parts. So it's a total part equals to 2 plus 3, which is therefore equal to 5. That's the total of the part. Now you want to start sharing your number. So what you will do is you take the ratio number, right? So for the 2, it's going to be 2 over the total, okay? So just remember, it's always the ratio, right? Ratio part, right? This is how you share the numbers. So it's always the part, okay, the ratio part that you're looking for over the total part. Okay, all of that multiplied by the number you are sharing, okay? So all of that by the number shared. All right, so for the ratio of 2, what you're going to do is you are going to say 2, right, which is the part over the total of the parts, and all of that is going to be multiplied by the number that is being shared, and the number being shared is 10. So that's going to be equal to, right, so obviously you're going to be equal to 4. You can use your calculator and find that, or you can just basically say 2 times 10 is 20. 20 divided by 5 equal to 4. Right. What if you were also told to share the number 39 according to the ratio of 9:4? Right, you'll do the same thing. You'll say, okay, let's find the total of the parts. So total parts equals to 9 plus 4, and that will give you 13. Then you will say, okay, for the number 9, how much of the 39 belongs to the ratio of 9? So you take the number 9, divide by the total of the parts, and then after that, take everything, multiply by the number that is being shared, which is 39, and then you will find out what share is the ratio of 9 gonna get, and you will find that that is going to be 27. All right. Then you look at the number 4. So for the number 4, to find out what its share is on the number 39, you will say the part of 4 over the total of the parts, then multiplied by the number being shared, which is 39, and then that will give you the number 12. All right, so which means, right, these two numbers, when they are sharing the number 39, they will basically just become 27:12. All right. Let's look at 6 and 8. So what if you were told that you need to share, share 56 according to a ratio of 6:8. This is what you will do. First thing that you do, you say, what is the total of the parts? Total part equals to 6 plus 8, which is equals to 14. And then you will say, okay, for each part, for the part of 6, it's going to be 6 over 14, then multiplied by the number being shared, which is 56, right? And then here you will find out that this is equal to 24. Right, let me write it here at the bottom. So you'll find that this is equal to 24. All right, now you come to the one for 8. So for 8, it's going to be the part over the total of the parts, then multiplied by the number being shared, which is 56. And that is going to be equal to 32. All right, now if you look at this, at the end, when you add the numbers together, right, they equal the number that is being shared. For example, 24 plus 32 equals to the number being shared, which is 56. So when you are sharing between two numbers, and I mean between two numbers only, if you have found one, right, if, for example, you found that, okay, the ratio of 6, its share on 56 is 24. For 8, you can basically just say, okay, which means for 8 is basically the remaining number. So it's basically going to be 56 minus 24, and this will equal 32. All right, so you can find the other ratio by simply, after finding the other one, you do the subtraction. But if you're not yet strong in your maths, I will continue to recommend that you apply the part divided by total part multiplied by the number being shared method. All right, so that you are consistent and you don't get confused. All right, let's look at some scenarios there. Okay, what if you had a ratio of apples to bananas? If 4 apples is to 10 bananas. If a bowl has 7 fruits, how many are bananas and how many are mangoes? So you basically apply the same thing. Okay, so you have total of fruits, so number being shared is 7. Okay, so you are telling you to share 7, all right, share 7 fruits according to the ratio. So what you're going to do is find the total parts, which obviously is going to be 4 plus 10 equal to 14. Then for each of them, you're going to say, all right, for the one for 4, you're going to say, okay, so it's going to be 4 over the total, which is 14. All of that is going to be multiplied by the number being shared, which is 7. And this will obviously be equal to 2. And then for 10, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to say 10 over the total part of 14 multiplied by the number being shared, which is 7. Therefore, the total is 5. Right. So which means that in that bowl, you have 2 apples and 5 bananas. Right. What if you were told that, okay, the ratio of white roses to red roses is 9:12, right? if there are 42 roses in total, how many red and white roses are there? So you do the same thing, do your ratios. So you will say, okay, let me write for the white ratio, white roses to red roses. Right, the ratio is 9 to 12. Right, and then the number being shared, okay? So you need to share 42, right? And then afterwards, then you will say, okay, what is the total parts? Total parts. Right, total parts is therefore equal to 9 plus 12, which is obviously 21. Okay, now the next thing is, so let me just move this. Okay, there we go. So it's obviously total parts is 21. Now, here comes the working. So the white roses will have a share of 9 over the total of the parts, which is 21. And you take all of that, you multiply by the number being shared, which is 42. And then you will find out that the number is 18. So which means the share of the white roses is 18. What about the share of the red roses? The share of the red roses is going to be the number 12 divided by obviously the total of the parts, then multiply by the number being shared, which is 42. Right, and then you will find that that is 24. All right, so which means out of all 42 roses, 18 are white roses and 24 are red roses. What if you were told a fruit punch is made of 3 oranges, 5 apples, and 8 mangoes? If 32 fruits are used to make a fruit punch, how many oranges, mangoes, and apples were used? So what they're telling you is share 32 fruits, right? According to the ratios of those fruits. So you need to write first thing your ratios. Oranges to mangoes to apples. All right, so if you check them, we've got how many oranges? 3. Mangoes, if you check on the statement, you need to make sure you check the statement very much correctly. So mangoes is 8, and for apples it's 5. To answer that question, first thing is find total of the parts. So you're going to say total parts equals to 3 plus 8 plus 5 equals to 16. So how many oranges are in the 32 fruits? So you're going to say, okay, first thing, you know that the formula should be part over total part, all of that multiplied by number shared, okay? shared number. So we're going to apply that. We're going to say 3, which is the part, over the total part, which is 16. We calculated it. All of that is going to be multiplied by number being shared, that is 32, right? And that is going to be equal to 6. Right, we do the same thing for 8. That is going to be the part, which is 8, over the total of the parts, which is 16. All of that multiplied by the number 32, which is being shared. And we will find that that is actually 16. Right, we do the same thing for the apples. And we say they are 5. So 5, which is the part, over the total of the part, which is 16. All of that multiplied by the number that is being shared, which is 32. And you will find that that is equivalent to 10. All right, so what this means is that out of all those 32 fruits, right, 6 are oranges, and then 16 are mangoes, right? Lastly, 10 are apples. All right, so if you want some more videos like this, do subscribe and give this video a like.